that do great things in the nation and across the airways and get it done on the open show. I'm just gonna let them introduce themselves and then we're gonna get right into the mix there. Who we got right here?
Y'all know who it is. It's the capital UNCN and the function with the conscious. Chilling with my man Big Six, man. Yo, didn't know some important history that he told me about, so definitely interested in building on that. And right here we got my man was it Burdell?
Verdell Singletary.
Renell Singletary. Welcome to the open show. Welcome to Buffalo, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
You know how you feel. I mean, I know they got you brother busy. I know you from Buffalo, right?
Right, sir.
But I know you've been very, very busy. Like I said, I gave him some history, Buffalo, from the beginning about man know thyself here in the city of Buffalo. How we did a campaign to give away a family some gifts, some advancements to continue their life here. Working with Chris Reynolds, Stop the Violence Coalition, under the leadership of Mark Fuller. We went to his office, and then lo and behold, we had a bus made up, brother. Big bus, man, with a label on it says, violence hurts is just that simple. And on the back of the bus it says, man know thyself.
Yes, sir.
And on there, then here we come with the Griot Nation, and then you guys coming in, spearheading it off to that. At first, people in the city of Buffalo, and I'm just gonna be honest, it was like, why is it coming from Dallas? Why is it coming from these areas that's not Buffalo?
Right.
And so we had to let that grow on us a little
Right,
bit, because
right,
you
right.
mentioned in some community centers and places like that there, that people was like, where those places at? But it was just based on where you was coming from.
Absolutely.
And not here in Buffalo. And
Absolutely.
so now I had to, kind of like clean that up and say, okay, well, we got, our Jesse Nash centers, our JFKs, those are the places he's talking about. It doesn't matter because you come from a different area that you still can't look up for those resources here. It's up to Buffalo to figure out what's going on, and being on the air and be okay. It truly helped us. So now that we ain't hating, we just appreciate it.
Right. And man, we never looked at it like that, bro. It didn't start with us. It really did start with y'all. We spent a lot of time building with community organizations and people here in Buffalo, so we'll have that information on the ground and
Right.
know what community centers. We just left talking with Pastor Kenny Simmons over at Golden Cup Cafe along with Mr. Sticks, brothers that have done staple things in the community. This tour that we're on now, leading up to the Juneteenth celebration, is so that we came here to get that intel
Yeah.
and cause and create these coalitions. And really what we wanted to do, man, is make sure that all those organizations that you're speaking about and all the community centers and everybody that's doing things would have an opportunity to have that be known.
Right.
That's what our platform is really about.
Right.
Nation of Islam with Brother Khalil, Brother Minister David, whoever's on the ground making it happen. The Griot Nation radio show is responsible for
Yeah.
making sure that information got out. So we knew, man, just like in any city, because we've been around the country and around the world, that you deal with, any relationship that's already in motion that you come in contact with, there's going to be a little bit of friction.
Right.
You understand? But if everybody's hearts are pure and in the right place, then that friction leads to understanding. It leads to it first creates the conversation, and then now we get a chance to sit before each other.
Right.
And say, great work, brother. So if you don't do something, then nothing will get done.
Don't hate, just appreciate, man. I mean, just buy into it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're the new generation. We're the new Malcolm X's. We're the new Muhammad Ali's. We're the new just whoever you are, right? In order to make this thing work. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't look at it that way, we're going to have some difficult time. If you hating on another organization out here in the city of Buffalo or across this nation, then you're doing the wrong thing.
Wow.
You become part of the problem, not the solution. And that's why I'm here with Buffalo Peacemakers and Stop the Violence Coalition. The work that I'm doing here in the city of Buffalo is a template for that young man like that, right there,
Yes,
to
sir.
take that place. You know what I'm saying? He got six
Nights.
It's the nights of somebody, but when he change over, he'll be establishing his own grounds there, and then we can sit back. And when our hair's starting to get gray, and say, okay, man, we see it.
Absolutely.
I think this mission that we're on here, I don't think we got the message as clearly as Malcolm and the rest of them did. We had to kind of like get forced into this thing or
Right.
find our way. Am I right or wrong that you had to find your way? Was the elders giving it to you? Because I hear you spitting on the radio, but how did you get that knowledge?
Definitely, man. Part elders, Part just being in the environment. I had a brother that was close to me that had went through some traumatic things, who had already studied and kind of knew some things, kind of turned me on it, and I began that journey. However, you know, what I realized during the course of the journey was how important it was to, you know, stay humble from the sense that, look, when you want to know something, you're at the mercy of the person that you're learning from, right?
True.
You can't come in like you already know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you do know something.
Right.
However, if you're going to get on the highway, you got to merge.
You gotta merge.
You can't force yourself onto the highway.
True.
And so for me, it was learning the principles and learning learning the laws that go along with getting along with people.
Right.
And being in relationships and understanding, human nature and things that helped me.
Mm-hmm.
But the real knowledge came from the thirst that came from within.
Right.
And I changed my diet, I changed all these different things to line up with what it is that I wanted to do. Out here making it happen, who are still saying that they are thirsty and
Right.
they're hungry. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
When I talked to Brother Kenny Simmons, he didn't look at me and say, hey man, I already know, I got this.
Mhm.
He said, say man, as much as we can get together, as much as we can, I'm looking for a mentor. Here's a brother doing magnificent things in the community. And in my own spirit, I felt what he was saying, because the reason why I'm with Amon Rashidi is because I needed a mentor.
There
also.
you go.
And so
Yeah.
you asked me how I got the knowledge. I lashed on the brothers that were doing it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I humbled myself to understand that regardless of what our personal differences may be,
Mm-hmm.
the work and the mission that we come together for is more important. And we never show up with our young brothers by our side, because they in turn are the reason why we're doing this, like you
True.
said.
Right.
And they have information about the time that they are coming in that's still valuable to us, even though we have knowledge from where they came from.
That's right.
And so when you tie this whole thing together, we got the Reclaiming the Village tour that we on right now. That's the reason why we in Buffalo doing the Juneteenth celebration. The whole process is to connect the elders, to connect the young folks, connect the people in the community, the church, bring that whole piece together for one reason.
For one reason. And that reason is
Always life,
life.
love, and liberation.
Peace and love.
No doubt. And so my man Burdell, he do music, man. In art and activism, we found out that was the quickest way to get from point A to point B.
Right.
Because we all artists in some form or fashion. Depending on how you paint your picture, it can be with your words, it can be with your actions, it can be with your music, it can be, with a pen and paper. But whatever the case may be, we realize that the youth, are the most important part. They're the key. And so, we got the brother on. He and I are gonna be collaborating on
Just
some
filing
tracks.
them in so he can fit into them.
Yes, sir.
So I had this brother on my stage. Matter of fact, I was the what was it? What you call it?
MC.
Not just the MC. Actually, I was the director of arts and culture stage, like
Yes, sir.
2 years straight at Juneteenth. And you came on my stage and you did the Michael Jackson dance.
Yeah, and
Right.
I used to roll around with brother Robert Harris.
Yeah, see, but you was
Yeah.
now you done grew up out of that
Yeah,
Michael
yeah,
Jackson
Hold
thing.
on.
Yes,
He
sir.
danced?
Yes, sir.
Michael Jackson?
Oh yes, we're gonna get him on the show today. Right?
Yes, sir.
And he dances Michael Jackson and did a great job. And I did arts and culture stage. I brought it to another level.
Yes, sir.
And the people that now have it, Ron,
That's
and,
right.
and the rest, they bring it to another level. So I passed on the torch, because guess what? This job ain't for me and you to keep on me doing all our life. We need a break sometime. And a nation. Sometimes we need a break, but I'd rather pass the torch on to a young man or a young lady that really has been groomed and know the steps. But you're gonna make you're gonna trip and fall every now and then, but that's all right. But you're gonna get up and be better. So as you have him here, and I am on the Juneteenth board.
Okay.
So
Yes, sir.
therefore, when your name came up across the table, it was like, unanimous.
Yeah, man.
What up? But then you know what? Like I said though, some elders don't know.
Right.
Who is this person? Because they don't listen to BOK. They
Right.
don't listen to it. So now they're gonna get a handful of some knowledge coming from a long distance. But that's nothing but us coming from overseas, over crossing that water, the bloodline coming through, and just giving it to us. And then I got my man Neil Mack,
Neil,
right?
that's
Neil
my
Mack,
man.
he was with Stop the Violence a long time ago.
Right.
He made a CD music. He probably gave it to you, but
Yes.
I have a copy of it in my my deck right now. I'm gonna give you that CD of Stop the Violence. You would hear his voice on there when he was young. You would hear Kenny Simmons. You would hear some people that's on there, probably went on to pass on, but you would hear some people 10 years ago. The Stop the Violence Coalition is 11 years old right now.
Yes, sir.
And the stuff that was on there, because we didn't have a homicide unit, we had a cold case squad, but they didn't have a homicide unit. So all this rebirthing and taking back our streets, we did the marching and all that there. So right now, I'm talking to law enforcement. They're calling me up for ideas on how do we go about things. You know, I'm going on probation runs. Before, when probation used to come to your house, they would kick in your door and disrupt your whole family. Now they knock on the door and they clear it out and they tell me to come in. Then I go in there with my car from Stop the Violence, ask the brother what's going on with him. His jacket has already been red. But I'm like, what do you need? You need a job, you need some schooling, you need some spiritual guidance. I'm giving them all that what they need and say, come talk to me when they gone.
Wow.
So we get brothers that come back and people say, man, how you doing at 6? This is what I do. I have had this gift given to me from Brother Simba and others in this community, and it truly works. So to the point now, brother, what do you want to do?
Well, first of all, my name is Verdell Singletary, and I'm a musician from Buffalo, New York, born and raised here, graduated from City Honors. What I make music for is, I mean, my ultimate dream is to be one of the greatest entertainers, you know, like, as you said, I emulate Michael Jackson, but I definitely, with the problems that's going on in my community, you know, I wanna say something, send a message with my music. I also, I used to perform What's Going On by Marvin Gaye a lot, and I definitely like wanna go just that Marvin Gaye put forward on that album is still here today. And so me and my brother, man, we have this talk show called Griot 411, where we talk about the problems going on as well as other topics, you know, going on in today's world. And we just actually made a theme song for that and like one for the GPS, which is the Griot Poets Society. And so
You got GPS, when you say GPS, it ain't like I'm gonna hear them on my,
Absolutely.
when I turn left, my
And what
brother.
it is poets. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's poets all around the country. So
Right.
you say GPS, so you can locate the poets
Right.
that support all the activism in the community. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we always, you know, we love the arts and the culture, the entertainment, but we always want to lace a, you know, a positive message in it. And so that's what I'm here to do. That's what my job is. So,
That's your job.
yes, sir.
So therefore, will there ever be a piece on BOK that connects Buffalo to you? You know, that dialogue, of open mic, you get what I'm saying? That you can be where you are in DC, where you're in Dallas?
We're in Dallas.
In Dallas, now connecting here and then open up the lines and you can talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like how we having this conversation here, then somebody calling in on the air, talking that way. Is it a loop or a link
Well,
in place or something like that going on? Because they want to talk to you direct, brother.
right.
You know, but they want to be from Buffalo talking to you and not going through the Dallas line. They want to come in, boom, and out.
Okay, so this is what we have right now. We have Brother to Brother. That's headed up by Brother Khalil Muhammad. That's on Wednesday. That's at 11 Central Time, so which will be 12 here on the East Coast, and that gives us an opportunity to dialogue. As far as the live format is concerned, we're working on that with WBOK. We found that it's best to do the show pre-recorded because there's so many other things we can't control being in Dallas and being in Buffalo. So we're taking advantage of technology to still allow people to participate on Wednesdays. Matter of fact, we're opening up the line after the show. So you hear the show, then you can call and say, hey man, you know, and then we can have that dialogue after the show.
Right.
But we are through syndication and through some other efforts working on where we can do it live and you can call in right when you hear something and be like, you know, you want to talk and we'll do a live segment that way.
Right. I'm definitely with that, you know, because I was almost at the point of going to be okay again and saying, look, I need something coming out of Buffalo. I respect Griot Nation, but I need something coming out of Buffalo so these people can relate, so I can, when I'm talking to these young men and young ladies in our community and then grandmothers and grandfathers, that they can hear resources that's in place here that make this thing really truly work, man. And then where you get the word Griot Nation from?
First of all, the griot is the one that's responsible for passing down the knowledge from generation to generations. That's done in the form of storytelling, music, arts, you know, literature, be it history written in books, whatever the case may be. The griot is responsible, you know, as is an elder, for making sure that young people like yourself, Verdell, and brothers in between like me and you still have an opportunity to realize what the foundation is. One of the reasons why we're in the position that we're in right now is because that history was lost. You know, we just talked about this over at the Art Center downtown on Main Street, 515 Main Street, the museum. the sister there, I forget her name.
Lodina
outright.
Clybourne.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Lodina Clybourne.
Lodina Clybourne. You know, we started talking to this sister, and she had a wealth of knowledge that in the process of her sharing that with us, automatically gave value to Buffalo on levels that people have no idea, you know, that exist. You know, Brother Khalil kept telling me, you know, man, here's a building that they're building up, but you know, certain parts of the city is still dilapidated, but they're constantly building on this side, gentrification and things that they're doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the reason why that is because when the history is missing, the value of the people is not intact. And so the city is not recognizing that these people have a value because they have nothing that they're standing on. So the griot, as she is naturally, as she began to talk, you know, has to be restored and put in place so that the value of the youth can be recognized, and then the value of the dollar that comes to the black neighborhood can be reestablished. And the griot, man, is important in the sense that they are the ones that hold that history. So that's where the word griot came from. And it's pronounced different ways, griot, griot, you know, certain forms or what have you in different places. But from the diaspora worldwide, it's recognized as a griot.
So you in Canada, Buffalo, you see revitalization in one part of the city. That I'm quite sure your team is taking you all over to see inner harbor, outer harbor, east side, west side, north side, and you see some different roads. You know, you can ride down one street, the next thing you look like you down, you know, going through the valley.
Right.
But you know what? It's design, but the design gonna stop. It's gonna stop because you know what? I'm the type of person that's gonna make the noise and don't care who's getting mad. From
Yes,
the
sir.
mayor all the way down to police, law enforcement, whatever. I have connections with people in government because of the work that I'm doing as a young man. Sometimes you gotta cash in your chips in order for this thing to work, but you gotta have people involved and saying, look, man, for the better of the city of Buffalo. We just had a homicide on French and Fillmore. Young man, you know, at a bus stop, get gunned down, right? Right. And I'm gonna make it clear, by his own crew. They hold that information. They put everything on lockdown in the city of Buffalo in that area, right? So now that syndicate group don't do no business, don't nothing happen,
Everything on
right? Everything on lock, and yet still y'all keep that man, you know. Look, I say it might have been an accident, he might just get 15 years, and he might come out be a better person, but he can say, I'm a man, I made a mistake, and things happen.
Right.
So locking down that block is making a lot of things go wicked.
Right.
And now, being that we're gonna be at Juneteenth, it's not even a mile away from that location. I'm spearheading now a revival non-denominational, but also jobs at the revival.
Right.
So now I can tell you, look, okay, get what you need to get, Muslim, whatever you need. Now go over here on the side, because guess what? It's a job waiting over here for you.
Right.
So now that you can believe in what they just went through and say, look, I can do better. If you need to get yourself cleaned up, I got a piss tech kit over here to start you on this day. In 3 months, we'll come back and do it. So you don't get caught up when you get ready to take the test. So some things gotta be in place. Some literature gotta be in place. Some billboards gotta say, Griot Nation, stop violence. All these companies that's here have to give it to us for free. Because you know why? They're in our neighborhood.
Absolutely.
You know, and all these billboards, we gonna take back our community, which is nothing really to take back. Because we got a better community somewhere else, up above and then far across the water.
Yes,
You know what
sir.
I'm saying? That's due to us. So having you on the show, brother, how old are you?
I am
Uh-oh. Yeah,
coming up on August 1st. I'll be 45 years old.
And I'm 50. I'm 50 years old. How old are you, brother?
20 years old.
So you can see. You see. So is it by design that you came to Buffalo and you're getting blessed, you're riding around, they taking you someplace, have they taken you to a place to talk to the brothers?
Yes.
Just right off the block.
And then, you know what? We passed a couple over, and we was on the time constraint. I was getting ready to tell Khalil to pull over. They were outside of a store, and that's what we do, man. You know, I'm waiting. You know, the arrival of Rashidi, Ahmed Rashidi, head of the Griot Nation and the Griot Nation show. And once he gets here, that's all that we do. You know what I mean? Because that's where you learn that. All policy is passed from work that takes place on the ground. So when you talk about government, you know, government is influenced by what takes place with the people, even though it doesn't necessarily serve people.
Right.
Government serves government. So the concept is, as the people, you know, in line with what you were saying, the way to make noise is to stand up with solutions, number one, but B, about implementing those solutions. It does you no good, you know, to give the young brother information and don't give him something to do.
That's right.
So, you know, that concept that you just spoke of, creating those resources and you know, navigating a young brother and young sisters through these mazes is what allows us to think about doing something different. They look right at you and say, well, what is that?
What is that?
And if you can't answer that question, then you just the next
Or
politician.
here's
walking
my
down the
car.
block.
They're like, man, you look like what?
Absolutely, especially like somebody, you know, like us, that, you know, that's not from here.
Right.
So the endearing of us to the community comes through our work.
True.
So when we say reclaiming the village, man, we've been doing this for over, you know, 20, 30 years now.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? You know, with combined experience. And so we're not immune. We've been in some of the harshest war zones around the world. And not just in America, but around the world. You know, Trinidad, Port of Spain, you know, we went in prisons and, you know, and what we found was everybody's looking for the same thing, man. You know, everybody, you know, it's a big hole in our soul,
Yeah.
a collective hole in our soul from the diaspora and everything that took place with us. And it's my duty as a part of the Griot Nation is to create a healing process that reverses that trauma. That's what I do.
Right.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Because,
Right.
you know, we're killing out of pain.
Mhm.
You know, we're killing out of places that we haven't reached in ourselves and healed yet.
Right.
And it has to be done collectively.
True.
And so, with that being the case, that's my portion. However, in order to make that real, it can't just be me and you sitting here talking.
No.
You got to get out and do the work. And first, you have to be healed.
True.
That's what know thyself really means. And so, you know, with that being said, bro, we absolutely would be on the streets. He's our passport to the streets. That's our passport to the streets.
Right.
You are our passport to the streets.
Mhm.
However, when we're here, for all those that are looking and watching, hey man, if you want to find out if this is real, come see us face to face.
So what's the give me some specific numbers to them, man. I know you got the numbers already locked in your head already, who they can call, you know, say for instance, your WW sites or you know, all that stuff, you know, I know, cause I hear you all the time, you like, you know, tune into a such and such, you know, you coming on the show, walk
Yes,
on.
sir.
This is
Now,
open show, man.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna bring on our technology specialists and our social media specialists. Gonna give you all the numbers and contact information, everything we're doing, and then from that point you can get us anytime, 24/7.
That's right. It's your man Khalil Rashid of the Griot Nation. If you want to find out anything about the Griot Nation, you can call us at 443-48-GRIOT. That's 443-4-GRIOT. You can find your man Aman Rashidi on Facebook at facebook.com/Mr. Aman Rashidi. You can find him on YouTube. We don't have a URL for the YouTube page yet, but stop by and find Aman Rashidi on YouTube. You can find him on Twitter at Aman Rashidi. You can find him on Instagram at Aman Rashidi. Also, Griot Nation Radio on Facebook, facebook.com/Griot Nation Radio. That's where you can find Aman Rashidi at as well. We got reclaimingthevillage.org. That's our crowdfunder. Right now, we're doing a fundraiser. I don't know when this is going to air, but if you go to GoFundMe.com/Griot Poor Society, you know, drop something. Support what we're trying to do. We're talking about reclaiming the village. We'll also be here. Hopefully, we'll have Aman Rashid and UNCN back for the Soul Food Festival that's taking place here in Buffalo on July 2nd. Aman Rashidi and UNCN will be hosts for that event. So we're looking forward to coming back. We're also trying to plan a Reclaiming the Village community cookout. July 3rd, we're talking about it. It's in the process. So if you got any ideas on that, we'll be talking to Big Six here and some of the other community leaders to put that on as well. We need something like that. That's the 4th of July weekend. We want to have some fun. But more importantly, I don't know when this is going to air, but we're trying to unite all the frontline organizations. You know, Gang Summit, I hear Gang Summit is going on this Wednesday, which would be, what's that, the 16th?
Yes.
But also we're doing some over at Back to Basics, what I'm trying to do, because I'm all about unity. If you got something going on at Back to Basics on Wednesday from 6 to 8, and you got something going on at the Crucial Center from 6 to 8, why don't we try to bring those two groups together and we meet under one roof, one tent, and then we hash out whatever we need to hash out, because what's most important is that we get out in these streets and change the conditions of our youth, change the conditions of our community. And lastly, I'll say go to griotnationradio.com. That's griotnationradio.com. Support us, listen. Every Sunday, WBLK from 8 to 10, you can listen to Griot Nation Radio with my man Aman Rashidi and UNCN. So I'm Khalil Rashid. That's all I got to say. Peace and love, Buffalo.
Hold on, before you
Yes,
leave
sir.
out
Go
the
ahead.
set,
Yes, sir.
what's your location? Do you have a location
Location as far as what?
for a building, a home?
No, we do not have a location or a building for home right now as far as the Griot Nation Radio.
We looking forward
That's
to you
right,
helping
that's
us
what
with
we're
that.
looking
I
for.
already know where you
Yeah,
going.
Right,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a
So
sister
look,
here,
yes.
Ella Franklin Pratt's daughter has a building on Main and Ryan.